Hi, thanks for joining me on my video today. My name's Janet and you are on my channel Creating Joy with Janet. Today I cleaned out my pantry. It is the first time I took everything out of the pantry except for maybe 3 heavy things towards the top because they didn't move since we moved in 2019. So it needed this, I needed this, and I needed to really organize. So I did move out all the things. I left some things where I just moved them towards another part of the shelf, like those spices. I cleaned up underneath them and moved them to another part of the closet. That made sense for me because of how I use them. Ooh. I put shelf liners on all my shelving a couple years ago just to make it a little bit more stable for the bottoms of containers and products and things like that. So that's what I'm doing here. And the funny thing is that my daughter is a culinary student and she has her own little side baking business. And at one point we doubled all of our baking things thinking, okay, she has to take just from hers to do baking, you know, to see what her profit is and her margins and how much she spends and all the things. And that was pretty silly because I didn't wind up really using my baking things anymore since I rely on her to bake. Why not? I have a little baker living with me, so that she's my baker now, and I don't do too much of that anymore. But here we are with the shelves all cleaned out. Like I said, there were just a few things that I didn't take out, like those big electric oven up there and the 3 mini crock pots. Had to vacuum the floor, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and then I mopped it afterwards. I don't think I showed that, but I definitely did that. And this was the surprising part, like how much all of these things took up room in my nice clean kitchen on my counters. When I took it all out, it was like, oh my goodness, like I know every single item that I took out of there, and I was not surprised by anything that came out of the closet except for the container labels that I found that I forgot about. But a little overwhelmed at this point that all this had to go back in, but once everything was cleaned up, decanted, a few things I had to decant, a few things I had to throw out because they expired. Wasn't much though of either one of those things, and it went in really easily and it went in pretty quickly. Taking it all out and just organizing it on my kitchen counter, like in groups, that took up way more time. But all of this stuff went back in, believe it or not. Kind of crazy, I know. So here I decided to put all of the baking stuff, the big baking stuff like the sugars and the chips and the flours, on one level of shelves. I do use Lazy Susans for a lot of things because it makes it nicer when you can turn things around. I was able to decant those 2 bags of flour later on when I cleaned out some of my bigger mason jars through the dishwasher cycle. And here I put the pastas with the sauces and the gravies and the potatoes and all the rices, all those kind of things on one level, which made more sense as well. So that things kind of have their little areas. Yeah, here we go again with the Lazy Susan. Love it because it makes looking for a specific extract or, you know, thing that I need for my daughter needs for baking much easier for cooking. There's all my pastas and potatoes and canned vegetables, fruits, and peanut butter for the dogs and such. I do have 3 crock pots in here as well, and specialty waffle irons, you know, for seasons of the year and holidays that I use. And these are those cute little labels that I found in there, which I was really happy to find and put good use to. I know I probably bought those thinking, oh, these will be so great, and then didn't have time and kind of put them somewhere in there, so it was fun finding them. But like I said, everything else I knew what was coming out of there and I wasn't surprised by. So I labeled everything, as you can see, as much as I could. Even on the walls, I put some just to guide the other people that live in my house more towards putting things back where they belong. So here we are with the finished product. Ta-da! Oh, I love it. It came out so great, guys, and for a smaller pantry for a bigger house, I really love how organized it is now. And I was able to take out one of those shelves and put it right through the dishwasher cycle. Those are for the Container Store that I bought back when we moved in, and it came out sparkling clean. So I'm gonna one by one do that with the rest of those little shelves that were on the door. These big mason jars we got from Costco twice. My daughter got 2 sets and I got a set. I love decanting all the flours and sugars in there. And up there is a lot of supplies that I have for entertaining and whatnot. And then my husband's coffee pods and that little, do you see that crock pot? It's a gingerbread crock pot. It's so cute. My friend Erin gave it to me for Christmas. Thank you, Erin. And the cereals and things like that. And then you're going to see my daughter's little sprinkle pull out table, drawer set, whatever you want to call that. She has all of her sprinkles on that for baking. That little shelf thing is going to be used somewhere else, but for now that's where it is. And then I have my potatoes and onions that I use and extra wrapping down there like baggies and wrap. And thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Bye.